another edition of Joe's News and Views. If it's your first time tuning into the broadcast, do me a favor, go ahead on, hit that like button. Go ahead to hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell all the way up top. Also, please participate in the $5 challenge. Helps your boy stay independent. Also, too, do me another favor. Go ahead and donate to my wife's GoFundMe. It helps her out as well. With that being said, I'm about to jump right into this. So the last time I talked to y'all guys, I talked to y'all about, you know, what's been going on with me in my childhood, how I overcame a little adversity and living up in a liberal uh, setting. So now I'm fast forward now to my high school years and my college years, where I started to go from liberal, full fledged liberal, to like a centrist. Now, when I got out of high school, again, I still had that mindset from the hood that, there was no hardly, no opportunity for black men in America, black people, excuse me, in America. I had that mindset that, you know, the only way you can make it unless you were an athlete or a rapper. So at one point in my life, while I was in high school, going towards, I want to say, starting my 11th grade year, I tried to take a stab at rap. Now, I was pretty good with the bars. I'm not gonna lie. I was very decent. I used to freestyle all the time in the lunchroom, getting it in and things of that nature. But when you from a small town like Hartsville, South Carolina, at the time, being a rapper is like a 1 out of 1 million, 1 billion, not 1 million, 1 billion shot. I still got partners that are rapping today that are local famous, but they're not international famous. What going on, brother? DOJ, what up? So I was like, well, this rap thing ain't gonna do nothing for me. I have to move to Atlanta. I don't have no family in Atlanta. I'm in South Carolina. You know, the only biggest city there was is Charleston and Columbia. And yeah, they was popping with rappers and stuff like that, but they were only local. What's up, James Bond? What up, James? Anyway, I was like, I gotta figure this shit out. That's what you're saying to yourself. I gotta figure this out. So uh, I decided, well, I'm going to computer field. Oh, what's up? Ringing Constitutional. Okay. I didn't know, man. You changed up on me. All right. I like that. That must be either your second channel or you changed the channel name, but it's still good. So I went into the computer field. I started in high school around 12th grade. At that time, I had my high school sweetheart. I was in love with her, even though that wasn't going to work out. I always used to blame that not working out of my because we both came from two financial different backgrounds, but it wasn't that. We didn't work out because I just did not have the mindset to deal with what she had going on. This girl had a lot of um mental needs, kind of close to what my son is got going on, but hers were not as bad. And when you're young and you with somebody that has that type of stuff, you will find yourself going out here making all kinds of mistakes. And it wouldn't be good for that person. So basically, yeah, I'm glad in a way that it worked out the way it worked out. Me and her never got married or got with each other like that because God forbid it would have been a disaster. We would have been, yeah, it wouldn't have been good. Her family would have been really ticked off. Yeah, right, man. You gotta look at, you gotta look at what is what. So that's why we did not make it after a year after high school because our parents were not with that. And my parents was trying to tell me the same thing, but they was trying to tell me on their side it was because we were from two different financial backgrounds. But as I got older, I realized what it was. It wasn't because of that. Shout out to her family. If they even watch me or even know who the hell I am, I'm not gonna drop the girl's name because I don't name drop like that. But if her family watching, y'all, I understand. It ain't no big deal, no love lost. I'm glad that this young lady found somebody to jail with. She's married now, she's happy, and that's what it's all about. Finding someone that is equally yoked or with you, you know what I mean? So when I got into college, I started first off University of South Carolina. Not the black college of South Carolina, the big college. Uh, that's when I started seeing there was all types of people. See, when you from the hood and you live in a small town in the country where it's predominantly black or black on one side, white on the other. Yeah, exactly, bro. I grew up. Just recently started realizing stuff. When you get in that top of college atmosphere, types of women. Like, bro, I'm talking about gorgeous ass women. And all these gorgeous women that I'm being exposed to and I'm seeing, they have a two-parent home. Like they got a mother and a father. They have, family roots on all sides. They both sides of the family get along together. They do things together. They know about health. They know about exercise. They're talking shit that in my community we don't really talk about. We don't really cover. And it was really interesting because I give an example. I met this one girl I was kind of sort of dealing with. I don't even forgot the damn girl's name, but if she looking at this, she'll probably remember me or something. But anyway, she came from a very rooted family, conservative. She came from a two-parent home. Her grandfather and grandparents were still living on both sides. They had traditional values. They did things together. Everybody was on basically on one accord. She's never been to the hood. She don't even know nothing about the struggle, which is kind of interesting. And you know, she knew about hard work, dedication. And not only did I see that in women, there was guys that I was hanging out with. I'm telling them how I struggle, with trying to make it or being on food. Some of these kids, what's up, Marcellus Wallace? Thank you for subscribing, brother. Some of these kids did not even know what food stamps was. I was with this one kid, no bullshit, y'all, hanging out with this man. And I told this man, damn man, I ran out of food or something like that. And I didn't have no money on me. And I was like, you know what? This is one time I wish I had food stamps. The dude looking at me like, food stamp card, food, what? He was so confused. He was like, I don't even know what the hell that is. I had to break it down to him. Dude never experienced that. And then I started learning about debit and credit cards. I ain't knew nothing about no debit and credit cards till I got in college, y'all. This is real shit. Everything me and my family handled was through paper money. My mother never and father never broke it down to me about no debit card, credit card. They used to tell me credit cards was a devil. Debit cards, you don't want that. You need to have cash. So to be around, people that did cash, that's good. That's what I'm talking about, brother. That's a testimony right there. Yeah, you got to break down those walls. You got to break down the walls. If you gotta know better to do better. That's the problem with America right now. Nobody wants to know better. Nobody don't want to know better, but they sure want to do better. Yeah, exactly. Financial bandage, man. So I didn't know none of this stuff, y'all. Y'all probably laughing y'all ass off, but this is back in 2001 and 2004. Back then, that's when, things were changing. Everybody was moving towards more and more into plastic. I didn't know anything about that. So going through college, having fun, meeting all types of people. I didn't do good in USC, so I had to go to Florence Darling Technical College. So I went there, still working on computer technology. Now back home, my grandmother, my great grandmother is sick now. She's getting older. She's not like she used to be. So I got to put in this work, to help her do school. And it just got to the point that, let me tell y'all something. When you in the black community, and this is exactly why I think a lot of us do not, yeah, University of South Carolina. Um, when I got back, like I said, I'm going to Florence Darling Technical College. My grandmother is sick. Now, this is where I met my first wife. I met her online. Now, my first wife I met online was the first non-melanated woman I ever dealt with, and that was uh, her name was Brandy, my ex-wife. So my ex-wife Brandy at the time, uh, which is my ex-wife now, but she was at the time my girlfriend Brandy. I met her through this place called Black Planet. Now, the reason why I started dating out of my race because I started getting my options open up. See, all my life I've been trained that the most you can go with is a fair skinned mixed girl that still got black in it. But everybody, anything else was a cardinal sin. Yeah, remember now I'm raised back in the 80s and 90s in rural South where the interracial shit didn't really start popping off and overcoming to a point of no return until the early 2000s. So in the 90s, you got hell if you was in a mixed relationship. And I mean, that's just what it was. And it really wasn't that much from white people. People used to say it was always from white people. Not really. In rural South, it really wasn't that much from them because they already knew and understand that the times were changing. You were getting that mostly from the black community, especially from older black Americans. So I have to make that very clear because a lot of people was like, always got this assumption that white folks was always the one that's against you in a relationship. No, not in the 90s. Now it was like that in the 80s. Now I know that for a fact that white people didn't condone it in the 80s. But when it got into the mid 90s and late 90s, it wasn't just white people. White people had been slacked up. It was more black folks. So this is how it is. And it's still in some cases like that today. So don't get it twisted. It's still like that in some cases today. I mean, especially on my dad's side of the family, they do not believe in interracial marriage. They racist as fuck. Oh yeah. So anyway, being the man that I am, I met her on a website called Black Planet. Let me tell y'all something. Black Planet is was back in the day was like everybody was on that joint. I don't give a damn what race you was. If you like the hip hop music, you like to go clubbing, damn, that's crazy. Good morning, Ray J. Everybody was on Black Planet. All right, I'm being serious. Black Planet got so hot, they started having a Hispanic Planet and Mama Gente. Y'all remember Mama Gente? Yeah, Mama Gente and Me Asia. Yeah, they just started having all the nationalities popping up. Then there one time was an Indian dating site too. So everybody was cashing in on this. Now Black Planet don't even probably exist. This is during the time everybody was trying to compete with MySpace. So anyway, we hooked up. We started talking. She was from the neighboring state of North Carolina. I'm in South Carolina. We dealing with each other back and forth, right? Like, everything is so cool. We got a long distance relationship. We beating up, we doing this, we doing that. Sick grandmother trying to finish college. Well, I know this is the part where you think that you gonna hear that, oh shit, you go up here. Oh, can y'all hear me? You said I'm cutting in and out. Can y'all hear me now? Because I'm driving. So if I'm cutting in and out, please forgive me. All right, what about now? Can y'all hear me now? If you can hear me better, James, and everybody give me a thumbs up. Because I'm trying to make sure y'all can hear me because I'm hearing people say I'm cutting in and out. All right, good. So, anyway, y'all think it's the time where I tell y'all that I finished college and it's a happily ever after. Now, it didn't work out that way. Uh, Things started going downhill with my education because I was dealing with too much. Sick grandmother, long distance relationship with my first wife. And I'm talking about a sick grandmother. I'm talking about this lady had to have a knee surgery. We had to help her get rehabilitated with that. She had a shitload of doctor's appointments. I had to drive out of town. I had to cook. I had to clean. I basically had to take care of my grandmother, like, yeah, like a damn butler slash maid. It was crazy. My great grandmother was sick. Now I don't regret it. God knows I don't. This woman took care of me when my parents were out there in a fucked up situation for a hot minute. But it was still tedious because I could not follow none of my dreams. And I felt like I was not progressing, I was regressing. So here I am, 21 years old, and this is when it kicked me that I need to do something. I was 21 years old, and I spent time with my first wife at the time, uh, which was my girlfriend at the time, which was Brandy. And I was chilling with this girl. We out here, having a good old time for my birthday, getting all fucked up and shit. And after we done did what we did, hanging out, and I was just asking myself, yeah, it is. I was like, what am I doing with my life? Here I am, 21 years old. I'm still stuck in the situation that I'm in. I'm taking care of my great grandmother, which now she's getting well. But there's other adults around me, like my mom, my dad is still involved in her life, and everybody else that can step in and help. I'm putting my life on hold with trying to load the responsibility when my family should be coming together to help me. This is another problem we have in the black community. When big mama or big or granddaddy or mama gets sick or daddy gets sick, They always want to throw the load on one person in the family. Nobody wants to come together and rotate and help. If you notice in other families, if a parent is sick, all the children pitch in. Even if the child lives thousands of miles away, if they can send money, everybody pitch in to help out the cause of mom getting or dad getting taken care of. We have a major problem with that in the black community. I just want to put that extra while I tell my story. So I was like, man, I can't do this. I got to do something. So I started looking at options. First, I was going to go to what they call that place where you go, uh, shit. Oh my God, I forgot what they call it. Where you go to learn a trade. I done forgot that. But I was about to do that. Where you go to school off and learn a trade. I know it's from age 17 through like the cutoff is like 25, I think. I done forgot the name of it. Job Corps. I was thinking about going to Job Corps. And then I looked at Job Corps and I was like, yeah, well, I could go to Job Corps, but I still got to rely on my family to take care of me and this, that, and the third. That's not what I want. So I struck that off. Then I looked at, all right, I need to get in the military. So by this time, I done started dieting and eating healthy. I've been reading up on things on how to get myself together. So I'm gonna start weight training, exercise, running. I'm eating right. I'm cutting out sodas, stuff like that. I go to a recruiter's office. First recruiter I went to was the I went to three. I went to the Air Force. I went to the Air Force. The Air Force was like, yeah, you know, you can take the ASVAB, but we got like a 2 year waiting list. Everything is really full up, bro. That's just how bad people try to get in the Air Force. I was like, oh hell no, I ain't got 2 years. I'm trying to accomplish something. Then I go to the Marines. The Marines were like, yeah, we'll definitely accept you, but the only thing we really been having wide open is infantry. Well, what's infantry? Well, man, you got to be on the front line and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, well, at the time we had wars going on with Iraq and shit, heavy. I was like, with Afghanistan heavy. I was like, nah, I ain't trying to do that. If I'm gonna be in war, I want to be somewhere where not only can I be a part of the action, but I can also be away from the action and still be successful. That's not it. And then I went into the Navy's office, and I went there. I see these motherfuckers all sharp down in their summer whites. And that's when they started talking to me. During this was like back in May, back in the day. And they were like, hey man, what's going on? So I started talking to him about my situation. Dude was like, how bad you want to get out of um of South Carolina on a scale of 1 to 10? Now like a fucking 10. He was like, that's good because this is what I need you to do. So he gave me a regiment to follow to get myself in shape. And I started getting it in. What else though, buddy? My girl, about time. Join the conversation. Giving y'all a documentary of how I became the crazy, wild conservative I am today. So now, here I go, and I begin to get it in. I'm getting myself together. I'm following this regiment. I'm like, I didn't, I got my mind focused. Now I had to break the news to my great grandmother and my girlfriend at the time and my parents that I'm going into the military and I'm choosing Navy. Thank God I choose that because when I found out my great uncle was in the Navy as well. Yeah, happy Easter to y'all too. I meant to say that, happy Easter everybody. So I go in there and I tell my great grandmother, I like, Gram, I'm going to the military. Man, at first she was upset. You can't go. You don't need to go. Hey, you need to be here with me and rah 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 rah. I'm like, Gram, you always told me God bless the child that got his own. I got to get my own. I'm sitting and living off you. I'm living off my mom and dad. I'm working. I'm up here not doing. At this point, I'm not even in college. College is not good for me. I'm up here, you know what I'm saying, just sucking. I mean, I done just got a factory job and they laid me off. I'm not making no money. I'm a young man. I got to have money. I can't be sitting up here with my hand in my pocket. I got to do what's best for me. So she didn't talk to me for about a week about that shit. She was pissed. So then I broke the news down to my girlfriend at the time that would later on be my first wife, Brandy. And she was like, I don't want you to go. I I'm working a good job right now. I can look out for us. You can move up here. I don't want to live off no woman. Oh yeah, definitely. Candace Owen is fucking amazing. Shout out to Candace Owen. I love that lady. So I said I'm going. I told my mom and dad. My dad wanted me not to go. The only person that was supportive of me going was my mom. Shout out to my mama, Penny Graham. That's right, my mama boy Penny. She was like, "Yo, you gotta do what you gotta do, son. You gotta live your life." So I get right. I go. I tell my kids everybody goodbye. 6 months later, my great grandmother is crying like a baby. My mama is too, but she proud of me. Everybody sending me off. Now, I had some haters. I'm not gonna drop no names, but I had people in my family told me I wasn't gonna succeed, that I would not make it out of boot camp. Uh, man, I got to boot camp. Yeah, I did. Got to boot camp. Now let me tell y'all something when you get to boot camp. The recruiter don't tell you this shit. But when you first get in that motherfucker, when you go through MEPS and all that shit and all that paperwork, all the probing, all in your private area to make sure you ain't got no diseases and stuff, they tell you that boot camp ain't that bad. Shit, man. Boot camp ain't nothing to fuck with. Let me tell y'all. And boot camp, I don't give a damn what boot camp you go to in the armed forces. But there's three of the hardest ones. There's Marines, there's Army, and there's Navy. Any of them they don't mean shit to me. If you can't get past any of them three, especially Marine, Happy Easter. Man, sit your ass down. You ain't ready to be in no military. Anyway, man, I get there. Shit. The games begin. Man, these motherfuckers was not playing with me at all. I mean, that attitude I had went the fuck out the window. That I'm gonna do what I want to do when I do it kind of attitude. Huh. The Navy stripped that shit. But I'm not gonna tell you about boot camp. I'll do another segment on that. Another story. I got there, I met some people. And let me tell you, that's when I become a centrist. I started meeting all logs of life of people of different backgrounds and people that were raised differently. And my perception about people changed too. The stereotype shit went out the window. And let me give you an example. One time I decided that I wanted to box, no wrestle. Oh, I went to the Great Lakes. That's where I did my boot camp at. I'll give you an example. And let me tell y'all, I ain't afraid to admit when I fuck up, okay? So I decided that I'm going to go and wrestle this white boy. This is when I first got out of boot camp and I'm in what they call A school. Not A school, but in sub school. I want to wrestle this white boy. And for we was going to wrestle for top bump. Bottom bump. I wanted bottom bump. All right. Yeah, outstanding. That's right. That's the word for the military. outstanding, and don't forget the 7 P's. Anyway, we go out there, who y'all? We go out and me and he'll get into it. And I'm like, I'll get this by the bump. He like, oh really? Oh yeah, man. I'll get this damn by the bump. He said, well, let's wrestle for it. All right. I wrestled people in the past. I've never been in sports like that. But I'm a pretty good balanced fighting dude from being out there in the hood and in the country, whatever. So I go and say, man, you ain't gonna get me. Fuck that. I'm gonna beat this white kid's ass. That's what I'm saying in my mind. Man, I go up here and scoop this white boy. This white dude did some kind of crazy ass move. I ain't to this day, I don't know what kind of move this white boy did. But my ass was on the ground and curled up like a pretzel within 30 seconds. This short, built, stubby white kid fucked me up. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. You can have the bottom bump. Come to find out, this kid was from Iowa, the farm fields of Iowa, country strong. Let me tell y'all something. All y'all black kids out here that thinking about going into the military or want to run your mouth with these country ass white boys, it's not only in South and in Georgia and the South. There's some of these country white boys out here in the northern part of the U.S. too that will fuck you up. Don't get it twisted. These guys are just as strong as a black athlete. So you think you're gonna run up on them all kind of way? Shit. Don't get it twisted. I don't I know you be hearing in these videos, you know what I'm saying, that these jokers are soft in jail. Yeah, they probably is in certain jails. But if you going where it's countrified or where it's predominantly white dudes that that do hard. So hold on, y'all. I'm going in and out because of this bad area. So give me a minute. Don't lose me just yet. Sun is bright this morning. All right, I'm back. So after that happened, I was like, okay, he done got the best of me. Then I started finding out that one of the dudes that I was going to sub school with lived in Wyoming and has never seen a black person in person, only on TV. That shit's crazy. Y'all think I'm bullshitting. This kid is from Wyoming. He was from a town where they're only predominantly white people. There's no Hispanics. There's no black people. There's all straight white folks. And he was shocked. Like when he first started seeing black people, he was like amazed. Like he would stare at you a little crazy, and I'm like, what, man? You got a problem? He like, dude, this is the first time I ever seen any other ethnic group except for white people. So I'm amazed. And he would ask questions. He didn't know anything, so you had to educate this cat. Going through bad reception again. All right. So when he did got education of what everything was, he wound up marrying a Hispanic girl. So now I go ahead on. I'm in A school. This is where I start learning how to make and work on missiles. Yeah, it's true. And learning how to work on missiles and stuff like that. I'm still meeting interested people. Then I started meeting people with different type of temperaments. Now, I did come across, yeah, exactly. I did come across people that were racist. Because I know somebody gonna ask, well, the military is racist. So there is some people first class who's now a chief, and another that's a senior chief is still in, and another guy that is possibly a senior chief, and I'm not gonna drop their names because, like I said, they still here, and you know how that shit is. I don't want them to be an investigation, fuck up their livelihood. That are pretty racist. They have said the N word around me, not towards me, but about other people on some real racial shit. Like they couldn't stand this motherfucker. They were just giving them the business while I was in the car and left and tell me out of their own mouth, I don't think of you that way though. And I'm like, yeah, but you said that around me and I'm the same skin tone, so yeah. But hey, when you in the military, you let them deal with that. Use the time for you to stand up and act the fool and be an SJW. And there's a time where you just got to fucking let them figure out shit themselves. I solved that by not dealing with them. Exactly. So besides all that, man, when I was in the Navy, uh, you know, I started to learn things. I started to my first boat, apply myself, but then I started to realize that I was in a field that I wasn't feeling, you know, because me and my higher ups were not getting along. Now I didn't get in no court martial or captain's mass and all that shit. I've always was respectful to my superiors, but at the end of the day, if you ain't feeling something, you ain't feeling it. So I would tell y'all that on the next broadcast. But while I was in the military, I can tell you this: opening myself up to different types of people is how I started learning about the how the world works and how political things are. And the military is what started shaping me to be a centrist. During the time when Obama was running, as well, I started learning centrist stuff. I started learning what it was like about taxes, political stance on policy. This is what started guiding me in the military on how to kind of judge where I was leaning towards. And that is because of the fact that the matter is the military teaches you that when you look at a political stuff, this was going to determine what's going to be good for fleet readiness. And if you don't know what fleet readiness is, that's basically a military saying of if we had to go to war or get deployed, we prepared. We got the things we need to go forward. That's a military term. Now you can tell when somebody been in the military. They use words like fleet readiness, the 7 Ps, outstanding, you know, stuff like that. We never sleep. That's how you know. That's how you know. But anyway, that's what started guiding me to be a centrist at that time. Because again, I've always was exposed to liberal, straight ideas. This is when I started learning about having a bank card, learning about stock, learning about how to do a financial budget. Y'all think I bullshit. I didn't know nothing about no financial budget. When I first came in, I did not know nothing about no financial budget. You know, when just to get my first car, to hear that I had to go to a financial specialist, I was at first, I felt, yeah, when I was younger, I felt disrespected. I felt, you mean to me you trying to say I can't afford no car? But when I grew up, it taught me what they were saying. They weren't saying that I couldn't get a car. They just saying that, hey, bro, we got to make sure you can afford that because we're heading into you getting into waters where you got to make sure you can financially afford this shit. So it was a good learning experience. So anyway, this is how I began my journey as a citrus for a while. Um, as I said before, I wanted to give y'all an idea of my story because a lot of people are starting to follow me now, and I don't want y'all to follow some guy that you think is fake. I had adversity, I had issues, I had stuff going on in my life like everybody else. I'm not a saint. I'm not no Action Jackson. I'm not gonna come up here and tell you that I'm perfect, but I am gonna tell you that I'm just like everybody else. I had some shit going on. So thank y'all for taking the time out to see this morning. Do me a favor, please like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe, like always. And I will come back with y'all on my next video, which will probably be today, talking about how I started going towards addiction after the military, what caused the addiction, and things of that nature. Yeah, man, this is what it is. It's gonna be a pretty long bio, but y'all gotta know because if I don't tell y'all who I am, how can y'all believe that I'm real? You get what I'm saying? I don't want to come off here sounding like a bitch. And when I say a bitch, I'm talking about a type of person that ain't who they say they are. Cause people good at that shit. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. And you come to find out they ain't nowhere near what they say they are. So that's why I'm doing this for the fans. So if I do get more followers and I put this in there, y'all know how I got there and where it's at. So when I get off today, we're gonna talk about on the next broadcast how I started my addiction, how my marriage life was like after the military with my first wife, and a little bit during it, and how I have became the man I am now of not being a fake motherfucker but a real motherfucker. So I appreciate y'all. Take care of yourself and each other. I see you on the next broadcast.